turn that bye into hello. I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day.
EUCF is here live on your screens. It is the end of a wild day one, the last fixture of the day. Coming at you, back in the open division, a pool topper. And what a pool topper we've got. Wall City from Berlin taking on Chevron Action Flash. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside the infinite wealth of ultimate knowledge, Benjamin Reese. Benji, what do you think of this matchup?
Well, I think it's going to be a very, very close matchup. I think both teams have a lot of experience. I think Chevron has a lot of experience. They have a lot of experience in the World Cup. They have a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the World Cup. I think Chevron has a lot of experience in the
This one has got some potential to be a cracker.
I don't want to count my chickens before they've hatched, but yeah, absolutely, this could be an absolute barn burner if these two sides can play anything close to their potential. They seem fairly evenly matched, 4th and 5th in the EUCS rankings, and not a huge amount of difference in between the two as well. In fact, if we run the numbers in the algorithm, I'll do the maths. I'll carry the 1 plus 12, yada yada yada.
He's quick with the abacus.
It has Wall City winning 15 to 14.74.
That's a close game.
And if that is accurate, then something miraculous has happened.
I don't know how they're going to put in that .74.
No, but it is very close. These two sides have played once this season, all the way back at the Elite Invite in Leuven. Chevron were 15-13 winners on that occasion, but Wall City was suffering a little bit with injuries that weekend. Both sides at full strength here today, and it promises to be a bumper contest.
Only a 2 point of goal differential difference even. Wall City at the top of the table +10, Chevron +8, both sticking it to Costa Rica Grandes and Groot, the other side of this pool. That promises to be a great game to see who gets in to the pre-quarter as well. And who the winner of this, of course, the grand prize of having the morning off tomorrow. 1 game less, straight into quarters. A lot riding on this game. You talked about Wall City at Elite Invite. They were just blooding in a couple of their hot recruits, Andre Riedlo, the Czech, and Ferdia Rogers. They've also got their American coach here for the first time on a tournament sideline. He's done a training camp with them, but Brian Jones in town popped his head in and said how much he's enjoying the weather here.
Yeah, I was able to have a quite a nice long chat actually with him while Wall City were warming up. Got some excellent insight from him. Slorkin does the drinks round, and we have cans of fizzy beverage, non-alcoholic this time.
And Wall City start with the disc. Metzger in the backfield goes through Rickards. Rickards to Greenwald. Finds the middle of the pitch. Rogers leads. Schlor is there, and a stoppage on this play.
It's going to be interesting to see the play of the international additions, Riedlo and Rogers, who were kind of really just betting themselves in at the Elite Invite, but now they've had a full season to go and to work with. And we'll see if they can fit into part of this Berlin machine.
Schlor finds a way around. Rogers is there, gives the point of respect, and they're on the board first, 1-0. Wall City walk one in. Clean hold.
This is all about throwing angles. Just rather than thinking about the pivot being flat, of course, it's not a straight plane. You've got a full 360 degrees, and Schlur knows that, and he's able to, as we see it again on the replay, if you look at the pivot, it's not side to side. He's thinking about, okay, we're going to go back a little bit, come around. He's got the low release, so the disc is rising slightly, and the outside in edge as well to the outside shoulder of Rogers. So it's taking away from the bit of, I think it's Martin Hall, who tried to make the play, but it was in vain. And the Tokai Super Team's Ferdia Rogers with the first goal of the game.
Yep, big way to step on to their biggest game of the tournament so far. They played great. I think everybody had this one circled. It's why it's on stream. We knew
oh, yes.
before this one was going to happen that it was going to come down to this.
I mean, we have thought that in other pools this weekend, and it hasn't quite worked out that way.
This one has come to fruition.
Certainly, this is one that we had earmarked very early on, as soon as the pool draw happened.
There are others like that going on right now, and the other stream as well, that Jinx East Block game, a massive one, more particularly for East Block, but all the action here as Criddle kicks things off and gets it back again. Keim blasts one to the end zone. Some separation, but not enough. Rickards with the bid breaks up the play.
Yeah, the party has been spoiled there by Rickards.
I think I saw a 14, but that may have been a 34.
It could well have been Stefan Kuhn. I'd have to have them. It is 34. You are right. Good vision. I was going to say, I had my eyes tested recently and absolutely fine, in great health. They even did the weird thing where they take the photos and look at the back of your eyes.
Wow.
I know. Science is amazing.
Phil Kay winds up the backhand. Schlor gets down and picks up on the sliding layout. Schlor in the middle. Break to kick things off, and that is double happiness if you're Stefan Kuhn. Gets the layout to prevent and cashes in after the Schlor bid to maintain.
It's going to sound like Lambeau Field about 10 years ago with all the Kuhn chants going around. You remember the fullback jumping?
Yes, absolutely.
The running style there from Schlur seems slightly awkward, but that's such a difficult pickup because he's picking that up so close to his feet. You thought maybe he was going to lay out early, but no, he saves himself, so he's not quite at full extension. And then Chevron always trying to recover. This game has started in a dream fashion for the Berliners.
We jest from time to time that Berlin looks good this year.
I hear Berlin is going to be good this year.
This year, maybe the strongest we've jested about it. There's a bit more legitimacy about it. Jinx, of course, on the women's side, showing some Berlin promise. A big win at Windmill, another big win at the Elite Invite. And Wall City have maybe crept under the radar doing it. That, yes, there is legitimacy. People are talking. We know they're good. That they've only been getting better over the last few years. Have they done enough to peak right to the top of the continent? Well, they're showing from the first 2 points that they may well have that potential.
Yeah, I don't think they mind maybe being a little bit of an underdog, to be fair, because it does allow you to play without that extra bit of pressure. You can be a little bit free, and you do fly under the radar. If you're a team like a Chevron, for example, or we'll talk about Brian Jones having coached Pony in the past, you know, they know that you go into the tournament with with the target on your back. Everyone knows exactly what you do inside out, but Wall City, maybe not.
Spears and Chevy get things going. The throw behind to Sweetenham. And Morel up and bounces off the hand. Another opportunity. Chevron offense not able to get cooking thus far. Riedlo takes the round. Herkins fires too far.
That's a very ambitious shot. He's really trying to laser that to Schlur down the sideline. He's got no margin for error. And I think he could have punished maybe that bid from Williams a little bit because, you know, he wants to get the D, but in doing so, he's made that calculation that, you know, if I don't get this, it'll be fine. But in the end, it was. But out of position there, you know, looking down the line, if you don't get it, he did leave himself very vulnerable.
Spears wiping the disc down to the line, and not what he was hoping that wipe down would do. Gets away, and you see that one. The wind holding it up. The wind has dropped a small bit from what it was about 15, 20 minutes ago.
If anything, that makes it a little bit harder that the wind is inconsistent, so judging those throws can be even trickier.
Diekman comes under the around throw, and Schlor can't handle this.
Now, that's a bit of an aberration. When was the last time you saw Schlur with a straight-up drop like that?
But you just saw him make one of the most acrobatic layouts we've seen in a while. And then the one that hits him in the chest gets the bounce off.
It's too easy. That was the problem.
Criddle fires for goal. Hanging up. Chance for help defense. And sure enough, it's Conrad Schlor there to clean up the mess.
It was an ambitious shot to Sweeten. There's not a lot of room at the back of that end zone, but you thought, actually, he might have measured this well, and then you saw the wind just pop it up a little bit, and it took it out of Sweeten's path and into Schlur's. Great way of making amends. It did rope-a-dope him slightly, though. And he could have caught that.
Greenwald brings the disc to the line. Of course, a long pedigree of Ultimate in his family. Both parents, players, won U.S. and World Championships. His father won the very first ever World Championship of Ultimate.
It's not bad lineage. Is that nationals or clubs?
I believe 83 and it was a clubs. Ethan Morel gives a backhand fake. And back to Criddle. Spears now. Oh, look at the bid! Riedlo, the Czech import, showing what he's good for, putting the body horizontal for a takeaway for Berlin.
I think the wind is making Chevy second guess some of these throws, and that's opening windows for Wall City to burst through.
Greenwald fires meters away now for Berlin. Herkins to Riedlo.
Pick away from the play, I think.
Andre Riedlo. Blades over top. And disc is in the hands of danger, but he knows that bounced off the grass and he puts it down.
It was one of those where he lost sight of it, so, you know, he probably wasn't sure, but he had a sneaking suspicion. And when someone signals down, he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Riedlo just told him short.
Criddle fires, and another one lost to this wind. Greenwald spins around. Schlur and does find Riedlo, and Wall City are firing on all cylinders. 3-0 lead, less than 10 minutes into this one.
A couple of Wall City players nearly got in each other's way there, but this is a dream start for Berlin, and Chevron look all at sea, somewhat appropriately given the weather. It's been a tough start. Their offense, every option they've looked to, it feels like have been pressured. And even the gimme throws, because they're feeling that intensity, they're holstering them, they're clutching them for an extra second, and that's allowing defenders the chance to close in and shut those windows.
And are we going to see a timeout? Do Chevron want to talk about this?
Well, Chevy look like they've got a 7 out there, but I don't know if they're having a timeout with some of their other players. Certainly some of them have gone to the sideline. Some soul searching certainly for their offense. We haven't seen too much of Cam Weir and Cody Elliott-Edwards yet, and usually those two just churn yardage downfield and are so profitable with the deep game, but with the win, Chevron haven't really had that option available. They don't always, in fact, they tend not to huck from standstill, Chevron. Usually it's getting a big initiator underneath like Sweetenham, and then when the defenders are maybe a little bit of a step off, when he's got a chance to get it in power position potentially, then they'll put it. But that element of their offense has been completely absent so far.
The depth of Wall City is something that sometimes gets overlooked. There's a lot of names that are maybe not of superstar caliber here, but there is just so many very, very solid players, great athletes. The legs are all reliable. Their D-line, I mean, full of legs. And their O-line, like when you do look at the top end of this team, I mean, goodness gracious, they have got the parts to punch in holds. And again, the dream start here, Benj. Phil K with the disc ready to pull, but Berlin off and running while Chevron can't quite put a foot right. Spears receives the pull. Kime. Gets the upfield to Colt Hammer. Finds a bit more space. Rodri Williams continues on to Dixon. He's leaning in and does find the seam. Cody Elliott-Edwards, as mentioned, Benj, does engage himself and does it to put the first score on the board for the Action Flash.
A change of game plan there for Wall City's defense. Going with a zone, trying to slow them down, keep the pass count high. See if okay, if you want to go backwards, want to go laterally, that's fine for us. We don't mind, as long as you're not getting more aggressive throws. It was opened a bit earlier in the point. There was a lovely just kind of pop over the top from Spears. Really sat it on the wind, and it was able to get it in space and then downfield. You know exactly who Weir's looking for, and it's just a simple little toss to the front of the end zone. K's beat to the spot, and Cody Elliott Edwards gets Chevy on the board. Another one who is a proud mullet owner, which more power to you. I don't think it would work for me.
I think you should try.
No,
There's only one way to find out.
I don't think
Benji.
I should try.
Okay. Well, we can agree to
I don't
disagree.
think anyone needs to see that. Although if someone wants to Photoshop a mock-up, sure.
Ben Hall ready to pull. I'd love to see the photoshopped mock-up.
Woody is a very good puller normally. But that one I think is a little bit short, although he's going into the wind, so it makes sense.
And Metzger pushes one back. Rickards. Ooh, and you...
Yeah, you can hear that, I'm sure.
Goodness gracious, you can see that. Hammer! Sent towards the corner, but does not find Schlur. Ben Hall on the pickup.
I think that's... if it works, you look a genius. But if you don't, well, hey, you've got the disc down the other end of the field, that's fine.
And that is the current situation. The next throw turned over. Rogers to pick up. Waits for a cut. Bassoff gives him some space. And that's Metzger. Gives him some space. And Rogers delivers the strike for the score.
Not clean, but it's got the job done, and that's really all that Wall City would care about. We knew that the wind was likely to pick up at some stage during this game, and it's why Wall City coming out to a big lead was so important, because now if it does turn into a proper upwind-downwind contest, well, you've given yourself that early advantage with a quote-unquote upwind break when the wind was pretty still. That one just beats to the open side. Plain and simple. You can probably see the pole cam's been blowing around a little bit. It is fierce out there right now. We were all kind of hoping that actually, you know what, maybe we might get away with it. Folks, we have not got away with it.
It is blowing a gale.
Are you nailed down?
I hope for everyone's sake, everyone's nailed down. I believe I went around on my off round here, Benji, and we're putting tent pegs in every single hole, and these walls are still flapping. See Brian Jones there conveying final instructions to his D-line. Phil Kay set to pull.
He seems pretty comfortable right now, as well he might decide who gets to go straight into quarterfinals. Team 4-1 up, looking good value for it as well.
Criddle spots Morrell. Low pickup. Ooh. Fires one back to Kime. Kime finds a seam. Elliott Edwards. Continuation. Morrell again. Great seam there. Sweeten him. Morrell. Then Kime. In the red zone. And the wind gets the best of it again. It's trying to sight Criddle, and Kime can't complete the short pass.
That's what you do. You play the percentage a little bit. Wind picks up. Force longer possessions. Be disciplined on defense. Don't give up easy long shots. Force them to grind it. And when they make the mistake, go back to work.
Rogers puts the lefty bomb up, and it gets picked off by Chevron as they look back towards the other end zone. Rodri Williams and Diekman steps in the way and takes it away.
Trying to be aggressive throwing downfield, but he hit the wrong shoulder there, and that created the opportunity for Diekman.
Basov gets a roll at Linnemanistons.
It's really weird seeing Basov without the visor. Slightly unnerving.
It's not him. No, it is.
You may be saying, guess what's up? I was like, oh, really? Someone changed shirt numbers?
Criddle will pick up, and I imagine will jack it. Has done. And I think it's about the only thing you can do.
Before the game, Brian Jones spoke about having stages of wind. So, like, 0 is nothing. Doesn't really matter. 1 is like, okay, we'll force them to flick huck it a bit more. You know, flick hucks are going to be a bit tricky.
They've
What
got
a
away
catch
with
that
one
is.
there.
2 is about, okay, now those backhands those backhands breaks are getting popped up a little bit as well. So maybe we think about allowing those to go a little bit more. And then 3 is good luck. And that's where you just say, you know what, we'll play the field position game. There's no harm in pinging them in deep.
Well, we're in a stage 3 right now. There's no two ways about it.
I think so.
No, yeah, we know so, Benji.
This really tests your mettle as a thrower.
Kime, low release delivery there. Gets it straight back in the guts, and then the low throw can't connect upfield. Trying to spot Williams. Basov saves one there. Linnemanistons to Diekman. Backfield for Rogers. Rogers goes to K.
As a distant hammering of pegs into the ground, which doesn't fill me with optimism.
Rogers back to K and leads to Diekman on the far side. Over the shoulder, Diekman hits Stefan and fires one into Basov. Quick to Diekman. Another upwinder could be treacherous against if you're Chevron, but that's what things are looking like as Wall City continue to make completions. Basov falls into the disc and then falls into the pivot.
Yeah, Sweetnam's trying to come through, and Basov is right in the way, and he clutches him, and that's a foul. No, you don't. All's fair in love and frisbee.
And the throw around misses, and Chevron will have another chance to jack it the other way.
That's such an important redstone sand for Chevy. And I'll be honest, I'm not looking at the swing at all at this point.
They've gone 4 in a row there before they try the deep stuff. They are staying with it. Morel. Stage 3 wind, and Kime finally pulls the trigger. It's given back, but it is now down that other end. A much more difficult situation for Wall City.
I don't know if someone on the Wall City side is kind of stat keeping. I would not count that as a block. Kime, I think the put here is absolutely the right thing because Basov bid and was out of position. And you do not want to be in your own end zone, believe me. Another upwind break here would make it late very early for Chev.
Ferdia Rogers jogs to the line. Reggie Williams happy to meet him there. Rogers leads, finds K. K! Great throw into the teeth of that wind. Just to get those meters and then to get away with a completion. Diekman makes a play. Basov.
Travel called. Diekman's a bit of a cheap code, isn't he, sometimes? Danger by name. Well, danger by nature as well, it seems. Someone on the sideline said you can't travel. So that's pretty good advice.
Ooh, and Linnemanistons sees it slip away, and Diekman shows the motion for the foul call on the throw, or against the throw.
There's something I quite enjoy watching about Danger, and I think it's the quite old school frisbee style where the shirt and the shorts are a bit baggier rather than the tighter athletic cuts we tend to see. Takes me back to my frisbee youth.
Basov picks that one up from nearly on the ground. Back to K. K goes around with a quick release backhand. Then tries to give Rogers an option. Finally gets an up line, but it was covered up. Rogers finds a seam to Linnemanistons. Led forward further, Kuhn finds a seam and another upwind break. Basov with the goal. It's 5-1. Wall City pouring it on Bench.
Berlin is going to be good this year, Steph. I've been saying it. Rodri Williams looks to the sky in frustration. How could we have let it through the grasp? There was the upwind huck from Kay that muscled so much field position away from them. I mean, into the wind to say, okay, it's died down a little. At some point, we got to let rip. And Diekman answered the call. You can see here they're trying to poach that inside lane, but Rogers is still able to split the gap through, and then they're moving it quickly. Players are out of position, and Bussoff's a player. He's got such good field awareness, and he just sees the little soft spot in there in front of Criddle. It's not a particularly expansive cut. It's not necessarily a particularly, hard fake cut, but it's taking the space, seeing that the defender closest there is maybe got his priorities looking elsewhere, doesn't see you coming from that backside, and he, not even scythe, but a bit more than a wander, just kind of finds that little space at the front of the zone for the score. Are we locked in now, Steph? Is that what's happened? Have we just been...
We did just get the vault sealed. I'm not upset about it. I want to be as far away from outside as possible. And we are officially outside, but we are now locked into canvas walls and roof.
It's all right. I don't have a life anyway.
Yes, you do, Bench.
And there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
And right here, living your life to the fullest, mister.
So true, bestie. I must admit, at the moment, Chevron look like they might rather be anywhere else. It started in a not a catastrophic fashion, but it's not gone great. Now they've got to go against the wind as well, and this is the sort of opportunity that Brian Jones loves because defense is kind of his speciality. Not that he can't offer insight on offense as well, but that's really where he feels his skill set is strongest.
I had questioned prior to knowing or to having my chat with Brian earlier today how well he knows this roster. Is he able to really do the line calling and not knowing these players that well? But I thought that was based on simply being a remote-only coach, but he spent a whole weekend with the whole team. A whole week, sorry, you're right, in Berlin with the whole team. Went to trainings and a weekend training session. He knows exactly what he's working with here.
Yeah, they got 6 training sessions in that week. Trying to make the most of him while he was over.
That is massive.
And that's exactly the sort of ball you should be throwing. And I'm going to say this, and I mean it in a massively complimentary way. That's horrible. You do not want to be catching that at all. It's tricky to stop the roll. If you flub it, rolls out the back, it's awful. It's an absolute nightmare as a handler.
Wow. Chevron action flash trying to get out of this sticky situation. Rodri Williams turns and fires, and they get meters, but not much more.
And Camway just heads up there a little bit. I'm just going to stop it from crawling ever further towards our own end zone.
Metzger on the pickup. Hits Schlor. Schlor sees one flub out of the hands.
We've seen a lot of very good players make very quote-unquote simple errors today because that's the effect of the elements. Trying to jack it into the wind again and was able to jump the lane there, heads up from Herkins.
Yeah, Herkins takes that one away. The business. High, what a sticky hand by Riedlo. Schlur and in for another goal. They will not quit pouring it on here. That one to Eichler. And 6-1 Benji. Not the game we expected. This is a whole bunch of German muscle flexing going on.
Hallelujah, Berlin. The weather seems heaven sent for Wall City right now because they have played the conditions perfectly. They found the opportunity to take the right shots on. There you see this is the deep shot from Williams, and he's got no force on here. He's got time to step into that, and the wind immediately out of the hand just shows the slightest edge, and it wobbles and flutters away, and then Schlur with a good adjustment to make that catch behind him. Eichler with the finish. 6-1 Wall City. Chevron look punch drunk.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They cannot put a foot right here. They don't know what has hit them. They are facing the elements as every team is, but now facing a bit of disarray in coming out of this game and just getting hit by the Wall City train here. You saw that last grab by Reedlow. A justifiable superstar on his team. You've seen the impact by Ferdia Rogers, a superstar from where he came from in Ranelagh. They're both in here and now on a team where they don't necessarily need to be superstars. Just do your regular contributions. Make one superstar play like Reedlow made there. Just a nice high grab. But you don't have to put the team on your shoulder. You just keep going and making things happen. Making one small play at a time, and those little plays do so much to make a complete team effort of it.
Yeah, the depth on Wall City is enviable.
Wanged it deep, and there is a disc that comes off. Elliot Edwards gets under it. The wind has notably dropped off in this moment, and Chevron took advantage of the small lull.
And that is that's exactly the shot that we know Chevy love, and that's the direction that it's easier to shoot it as well. And really well judged. Talking about depth, just the depth of field there, utilising the full depth of the end zone, trying to hit it towards the back. You don't always have to score right at that front cone. How could we adjust that defensive positioning? I see there just a little dish off, turn around, look downfield. Yeah, go on then. Single coverage, he's open.
And I don't even know who that was who threw that, Benz, because there's no number on the back with the full rain gear on.
Maybe Martin Hall, I'm not sure. But you are right, full rain gear on. Couldn't exactly tell, but they look pretty cold.
There is the thrower. Is that Martin Hall with the Callaway toque on?
You know, we'll say yes because it makes me look smarter. I've commented enough Chevy games over the years. You'd think I'd know by now.
We know numbers, not faces.
Hey, you can ask me about someone's shirt number from a uni team I played against 13 years ago. Sure. What did they look like?
Hey, I'm the same.
No, that's not my
numbers
point.
and numbers and surnames. I am with you, Bench. Able to recall a whole lot more than I ever thought I would be capable of. But yeah, faces and first names, not the strong point. Not what we're working with around here.
Yeah, we're on last names only basis.
When I'm around the community talking to people too, it's all last names. Hey, how you doing? Last name. Hey, how you doing? Last name.
Last name's a good player, to be fair.
Yeah. Rogers goes over to Metzger. Metzger leads. Gainer. Schlur. Back to Metzger. Ooh, a wobbler of a push pass. Pop pass, rather. And a little bit of a dance step there. Gets Rickards open and back to Metzger. Finds the corner. Another one on the board. 7-2 Wall City. Staying strong. Business. Herkins with the goal.
DeWallace is trying to sit a little bit inside there so he can help defend the other player at that front line and say, you know what, I think I've got enough time to recover and turn around and cover that. Wall City clearly disagreed because they punched it in and it wasn't a real rifle of a shot. It was just a comfortably well-judged, well-weighted throw.
You know, Benj, we talked about, the form these teams are in prior to this event. There's been a bit of a break. There's been a major world event in between. And one of the biggest surprises of Worlds in the Open Division was the German Open team.
Came fifth in the end?
Fifth in the end. Beat Belgium, outseeded Belgium, a team that is European Championship, went in with very high hopes.
You wonder how much of that was potentially a Belgian hangover from that Game of the Year contender, the quarterfinal loss against
Japan.
But that's not Germany's problem. You still beat a very good team. Beat them comfortably in the end, right?
I believe so.
I'm going to go into the digging.
But Germany will carry that. Germany. Wall City has many members of their club that played on that team that will carry a whole lot of that confidence into this event. And, you know, they have got a whole bunch of swagger out there right now. Having the bench boss, I can't state enough. You see Brian Jones brings so much to a club.
I think this is one of the things that if Europe is to close the gap to the USA, we will see more of. It's not necessarily American coaches coming over, but teams' programs having more designated coaches, more coaching insight. So many teams at the top level are self-coached, and I mean, we'll look at Clapham for an example, because they've been the gold standard in this division for so long, and they have scarcely ever had a coach. Jamie Cross did it for a couple of years, I think. You know, if a player's injured, often they take on a coaching role, but to be able to continue have that drive and appetite and desire, and also that kind of self-discipline and that slightly holistic view that can be difficult when you're internal is remarkable. Down the line, is that not going to drop? Surely no, not quite.
But I loved the pursuit on that right till the end. Ned Garvey, the narwhal. Criddle takes that one out of harm's way. It did hang up just a bit longer than they may have hoped. Fine center. Cam Weir dishes off to Criddle. And Criddle gets it back and bounces off the hand of Kime.
I think he tried to take it early so he could keep the disc moving, but he would have been better off just with the defender not necessarily breathing down his neck. Could have taken a couple of extra steps and had a slightly more comfortable catch, but in the wind, you want to take it as early as possible so they can't do something dastardly and devious.
Phil Kay on the pickup. Takes a moment to wipe down the disc. Fires to the corner. Danger with an E-slide. Diekman.
Springsteen-esque, Steph?
You better believe it. Basov turns. The corner's available and just misses out there. Pick up for Chevron. Can they get it out of harm's way here?
Yeah, you could see that he slipped as he was releasing it, and that provided the edge to hit the floor.
They get it up in the wind, and it does hit off the hands of Seb Allen. I mean, there was definitely some contact. Are we going to hear a foul call of it?
There's definitely some discussion, it seems. I mean, this is putting air underneath it, giving someone a chance to make a play. Allen turns, and he's falling a little bit awkwardly. How much contact there actually is on the backside, it's always tough to tell when you look at it from one angle, because you just don't have eyes in the position around where you'd maybe see, you know, a little. No, I'm not suggesting that he shoved him in the back necessarily, but from that angle, you wouldn't. I'm saying that you wouldn't.
And it wouldn't have even been a shove. Like Phil Kay defensively had eyes on the disc. He got a hand to the disc and knocked it away. But going up, did he get a chest bump? Did, you know, his shoulder rub? Any of those can be properly construed as the foul. But Seb Allen does make the call that it didn't affect so much, and that one does count as a turnover.
Yeah, very productive discussion.
Garvey goes back to Kay. Kay gets a nice grab out of Diekman. Oh, but then the miscommunication, and now a short field for Chevron action flash. The around, Sebastian Allen cannot quite get there. The throw led too far to the back line.
Just didn't quite have that sharpness of change of direction that he would have needed to get it at the back of the end zone.
Phil Kay will walk it up. And they'll try their hand upwind once more. The under comes from Linnemanistons. Back to Kay. He winds up the backhand. Gets it out of the end zone, but knocked away at the midfield by Williams.
Yeah, that's good awareness. And I'm not sure whether he had a shout necessarily from the sideline, but it's not locked onto the receiver. It's head on a swivel, so he knows he can turn around, locate it, and just get a hand in the way. Doesn't need to do anything too outrageous. It's just being alert and being alive.
Leading throw Elliot Edwards gets another to Williams.
Good pickup.
Leads one towards the end zone. Linham Aniston makes a bid, but not enough. And the catch by Weir collects the third goal of the day for Chevron.
It died on him a little bit at the end, didn't it? And Weir did very well to make the adjustment with the disc slightly behind him, but it's with his dominant left hand, so it's not as tricky as it might be for some others. This is a superb pickup because the disc is fluttery, and to scoop that before the edge hits the floor is superb. And then Williams sees the one-on-one in the end zone, puts a bit of air underneath it. It's agonising for Linham and Stearns.
Ooh.
Does his very best, and Weir, he's already up and he's slightly coming down, and he keeps his focus despite the defender flashing across him to make the catch.
I think the opening throw of that sequence had a hand on it. The fluttering one was partially blocked as well, making that catch that much more impressive.
Of course, this is the last round of the day for these sides. This pool also had Grut and Costa Rica Grandes, who were battling it out to see who can make the pre-quarters. The loser is eliminated from medal contention. Grut have earned themselves a 7-3 lead there, so same scoreline as it is here. And it looks like the Dutch outfit will be taking their place in the pre-quarters. This pool crosses over, by the way, with Pool A. And so that has Mooncatchers at the top, and so and then XVI, One Tribe, and Is No Good, who they would cross over with is to be determined based on the results of those last games. Don't have any scores for you, unfortunately.
Wall City go through Metzger, far side of the pitch, and then back into the hands of Metzger. Rickards. Metzger and Rickards exchange once again. Reedlow, far sideline. Schlur to Rickards. Around, and Metzger reads it well. Reedlow gets the gainer. Freimark, and the next throw won't go, and Chevron get it from their own end zone.
Yeah, Freimark tried to jump himself into the end zone, but he didn't make it. And it was like, okay, well, I've got this one open, and I guess he just stopped thinking about it and lost his form and lost the disc.
Penny. A stronghold, long-time player for Chevron, gets things going. But this throw, looking for Bevan, another piece of the Chevron fabric, misses and gets blown well past the sideline.
I don't know if he's so much pieces of fabric as, one of the... you know what? I don't know fabrics well enough to make a good metaphor here.
Okay, one of the... Chief Taylor?
Sure.
I don't know, Benj. I don't know fabric well enough either.
He's like the core thread that holds it together.
Right. Deep shot and knocked away. And Chevron will go again. Going quick, never a bad idea.
Barak nearly knocked that right into Schlur's grasp. If you don't catch it, that's the opportunity you risk.
Bennett leads, Bevan collects.
That's a great throw into the wind.
Around he goes to Penny. Low, great pickup there. Cartwright, and given back on the next throw. Picked up quick, Rogers. Gives and gets, and then goes around. Has Freimark and Wall City extend the lead, and they are really running away with this one, Benji.
Yeah, 8-3 at half. You could feel that Chevron were really playing in the margins, weren't they? Just giving themselves so little room to work with, and it almost felt somewhat inevitable that the error would come. He's a little bit behind him. It's really tricky to get your arms in the right position there to make the catch, and Wall City just play quickly after the turn, and it's, you know, the phrase less haste, more speed. They're playing quickly, but they're not rushed. They still, playing through sensible options. They're not panicking at all. And when you have players open, I guess you don't really need to.
Yeah, no need to panic. Wall City with a massive lead going into half. 8-3 over Chevron. More to come after this.
On October 14th, 2024, the first ever World Beach Ultimate Club Championships will take place in Portugal. Follow the over 600 games as the scores update live online. And with free streaming from the Ulti TV arena, you can catch your favourite teams on your phone or from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss any of the action from Portimao.
Halftime, Wall City 8, Chevron 3. Wall City have blasted out of the gates here. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside Benji Reese. Continued action here from Oostende, EUCF. Benji, not quite the game we expected.
Not yet. There certainly is time for Chevron to come back into it, but given how Wall City have played in the first half, it's a very tough task against a top quality opponent. They've taken their opportunities when they're available. There were times when the wind was a little bit lower and they pounced on that, but also even when the wind was tough, they've had that ability to grind it out at times that all good teams need. You need that desire to grit, to, if we'll borrow an American football team here, to pound the rock, to run it up the gut and just tire them out.
Yep, pound the rock. I like it. That is what they're doing. They're kind of, as you said, like, there's no one player they got to slow down. There's no one tactic they got to put the slow down. They are bringing it from all angles. It is a full team attack here by Wall City. And what Chevron got to do is not worry about their opposition, but just themselves and try and get things going. This may be their best opportunity to get things going. Penny with a short field. Throws for goal, and it's knocked away. Ooh, hard into the fence.
Yeah, you'd probably like a little bit more clearance at the back of that end zone. Aiming for Ben Tennant, but pressure was tight enough to prevent it going to hand. I don't hate the shot, though, because, no, I mean, I know you've shown it, but it is tough to work the full central zone in this wind, so be our guest, especially because you imagine they'll probably try and sit under a little bit and say, air it out in the wind, we back ourselves. Oh look, it's Ulti TV's own Yoel Ben Yosef to pick up.
Ben Yosef throws high, picked off and turned over, and a goal line possession for the numberless Callaway hat. Back to Hannum and bounced away.
Interesting, Chevron have changed up their line, certainly, because, you know, who are the players you're seeing out there or no? Sweetenham, not out there. Elliot Edwards, Weir, not out there. Kime, not out there.
Meanwhile, Wall City getting away with everything. All the unbelievable that they're able to continue to make connections. Domke goes back, Ben Yosef, and in again. That is the business. Paul Herkins puts another on the board, 9-3. Wall City mean business out here, Benji.
Let's go, JBJ. That's my guy right there. They chanced their arm with these deep puts. Sure, they rode their luck, but look, if you don't roll the dice, it's never going to come up double sixes, is it? This one he gets wrong. He shows too much of the underside to the wind too early. Chevy get a short field. They can't capitalize. And next time Ben Joseph got the disc on the outs, right on the end zone line, he measured the disc well, didn't he?
You got to risk it to collect the biscuit. And the risks are paying off, and there is a wealth of biscuits in the drawer right now for Wall City. Here is, again, Ulti TV's own Yoel Ben Joseph going to Paul Herkins, wearing the same hat as me, Benji. The Firetails. Yeah, the girls, YTG.
Yeah, the girls. That's what it stands for. You did tell me that yesterday, and I'd completely forgotten. Literally, it went in one hand and out the other again. In one hand, in one ear, whatever the phrase is. It's been a long day.
Hand. It's the end of the day, Bench. We're going to get through it. We'll get to tomorrow.
I think we are. I think that point's not standing, and there was a stoppage earlier in the possession that we're going all the way back for.
Whoa. Well,
I must admit, for a lot of that, it felt like Chevron was surprisingly lackadaisical. Maybe that was why.
Yeah. They knew something that we didn't.
Yeah, it's in that blind spot for us, so we couldn't quite see it, he says, as if the rain hasn't made looking at everything difficult.
Well, it's going to be back into the hands of Ben Joseph. I'll bring it a couple meters off of the cone, but way back onto his own goal line. A long way from whence they were. Herkins gets one off his own bounce, then fires again. Off the hands, and now Chevy have it back. Fired. The other way, looking for end zone. Will they? They will not. Goes out the back. Ben Joseph to pick up again.
And the deep shot from Wall City was in and out of the hands, and I know it's tricky in this wind, but at the moment they're going deep, and they are coming away with it more often than not. Brian Jones, understandably, pleased as punch.
This one, and this one a bit too much. Not bad for field position, but no chance for Johnson to make the play. Fired again the other way and picked off. Herkins turns and fires. And we are just shooting for position. And Wall City excited about it.
Is this the Pat McAfee show that's just punters all over the field?
Penny.
Punters are people too, Steph.
Penny to pick up. Shoots for center and gets it. That one easy, and the deep shot goes by Hall. Almost available for Hannum, but too far in front, and Ben Joseph picks up. Centered just off the goal line. Johnson, and this one really gets some air under it. And finally taken away by Penny. Penny looks for goal. Hall is there, but that disc rose and flew to the back fence.
Yeah, it is. It's tricky
to rock around. It's tricky to rock around.
Right. I know. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, and you know that I wouldn't necessarily call hip hop my area of strength.
Okay. But you have so many strengths, Benji.
I know, and somehow that's not one of them.
So, another stoppage here. Not sure.
I think that's a pick in the center.
Yeah.
As you see, Espinoza and Hall now on defense. They're very close to each other. So are the two Wall City players they're marking, so it's understandable how that would have happened.
Yep.
Don't know whether it affected that first throw, but they are going to send it back.
Yep. Ooh, and the wind up, but did not get every piece of that one.
I mean, the game plan is clear from Wall, isn't it? It's take the shots. If we come down with them, great. If not, fine. We'll knacker them out, if I may speak Britishly.
Yeah, and just so much easier to defend a lead by using the whole roster too. The way they started off is really doing favors for them to be able to use their whole roster. The round throw there from Domke. And all the way back upfield again. Another turnover, but back in good field position before it gets sent the other way. A little bit of ping pong action here. And that one taken down in finality. And they are on the board once again. 4-8, a marathon of a point that Espinosa comes down with the goods for.
Yeah, the Mexican Pepe Jose Espinosa bringing it down, represented Mexico and played with GB Masters last year out in, where were we? Bologna for the European Masters Ultimate Championships. Yeah, I mean, it's Wall City, they are just, you know, putting it deep and saying, you know, we will play a little bit of that field position game. That's fine. Chevron, if you want to answer it back, sure, but we can tire you out. We back ourselves to do that. That's not really a problem for us.
You see the Eurodisc flag flying there. It's come unhinged from the bottom. Glad the zip ties up top are staying on, but another show of what this wind is doing. Wall City puts an O-line out there with the wind at their backs.
I mean, what a rest you've had for your O-line. What, 15 minutes or so since they last went out there? Almost too long, in fact.
Yeah, that's the only problem of going on a big D run is you put the O-line on the shelf. Do they get colds? It's a problem I'm always willing to have.
It's always interesting when you play games in these elements, because normally when you've got the disc, what's the one thing you want to do? Make sure you keep possession. Don't turn it over. Don't give them freebies. And you go like this, and that all goes out the windows. And it takes a lot of gumption to be able to say, you know what? I'm gonna be comfortable and happy with throwing turnovers. Oh yes, no!
Unbelievable. Rodri Williams bobbled that about 7 or 8 times before it eventuated into a turn, but he gets it back. But there is a foul called from the throwing side.
Yeah, the discussion, I think, is that Bennett was stepping across as he tried to come around and break the mark. It's a great bid, though, by Williams. Gets it cleanly, and look at him, aghast. Surely not. It was so good. The other game in this pool we mentioned is Costa Rica Grandes versus Krit. And the
Dutch. Like she's all over?
It's 10-5 to Krit, which, you know, is not... It's not game over until that last point goes in. But given the conditions, you'd expect them to be able to see that one out. Disc is going to go back here into the hands of Greenwald.
Greenwald surveys and finds Metzger. Metzger fakes, then turns back to the dump. Quickly, straight back to Metzger, and again into the hands of Greenwald. Another exchange between the two. Now Rogers dead center. Metzger and Rogers play the exchange game. Metzger did open some space there, but late, and it goes to Rickards. Rickards finds a seam. Schlor is there. 9-4, the current score.
Of all the players in this entire tournament that I would least want to leave open at the front of the end zone, Konrad Schlor, if he's not number one, he's damn close.
Yeah, he is not the man you want left open anywhere. So sure of hand. His lower body strength and ability to change direction in a phone booth, impeccable. And here he shows you what he can do if he's given some space.
Yeah, Rickards getting the party started as he finds Schlor for the score. Is it the prettiest game we'll see Wall City play? No. Will they mind? No. You accept in these conditions that it's not going to be A+ ultimate. if you get the job done, that's the important thing, because we've seen a lot of good teams today fall by the wayside. Lemmings, the number 4 seed overall, top seed in their pool. They've crashed out. 3SB, number 3 seed in the women's. They're out now as well. So we are having big names fall by the wayside. Hell, Clapham lost to Quixotes last round. And that's after 2 rounds ago, I think, actually, now that I mention it. But that's after Quixotes very nearly lost to 3SB.
Had to come back to win that one.
And it might mean nothing if Gentle beat Quixotes in the end anyway. But the point is there that it's difficult in these conditions to win, even if it is winning ugly. Although you could just do that, and Bevan picks it up, jacks it deep, finds Barak. How many times have we seen that for Chev over the years? And that is exactly what they would have wanted. Get the offense out there and get it off the field as quickly as possible.
9-5 after that one, the quickest score of the game either side, as they pound that one the other way, as the veteran Matt Bevan makes short work of the point with...
Is he a veteran? How long do you think he's been playing?
What is the term for beyond veteranship?
Legend status? Icon?
I think he's there.
Yeah, played GB World Games all the way back in 2009. Which is a long time ago for those of you who are less mathematically inclined.
It's 15 years, Bench. I got the abacus out.
I back you. And a lot of youth players in the UK have come through Matt Bevan in one way or another, because he's been coach at Twycross School, which is the Flux program, kind of one of the 3 big junior programs in the UK, along with Badgers and Evolution. Can't remember what schools precisely they're from, but there's 3 main schools that have been kind of duking it out at the top of the junior divisions for years in the UK, and Flux through Twycross is one of those.
Ooh, there's a turn and a short field. An opportunity for Chevron to change the tide here, but that throw does not hit, but Wall City will have to start from their own goal line. Well, they get out of that situation quickly, punt it, and they'll let Chevron have the disc again at their own goal line.
That's a great turnover. I love that turnover. I'd be all over that at Greg's. Other bakers are available. That's an elite Finny, by the way, from Coach Brian Jones.
Yeah.
Elite. See, it's not just on the field, it's off the field. The awareness that you just can't buy.
The awareness to Finney.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He knows what he's doing. You're not getting any extra game film here. It's little scouting material as possible.
Chevron from their line, try and boost again. This one will taper off to the sideline and go back into the hands of Wall City. A bit more of a manageable field to work with this time. Rogers looked to jam it up the line, but then gets the return. Very sure-handedness by Metzger. Leads Schlor, and Schlor misses a bid to try and help it out, but Colthammer has that denied.
Football.
Metzger in the lane.
And then Colthammer tries to stop the roll and ends up playing a little bit of football afterwards. Sorry, soccer for our friends across the pond.
And another turn straight back. Colthammer picks up. Leading throw. Sweetenham to Criddle. Criddle fires. Finds Sweetenham again. Williams. Sweetenham and Bennett exchange. Now Sweetenham back to Williams. Williams goes too high. Second effort available.
What a
but
grab.
Schlor rips it from the sky.
Just the explosion off the ground from Schlur.
And that one too far. No chance for Rickards.
It's an emphatic block in the lane. And then Rogers going with the scuba, giving it a go.
Interesting choice today. What a rip by Conrad Schlur.
That's sensational. And I love that he caught it as well, because he could have just tipped it on. But in these conditions, that would hang up and it'd give them a second opportunity.
We would have said something like catch your D's if he did that.
I've never said that, Steph.
Yeah, me either, actually.
Wait.
Okay, we both have.
Yeah. Just the once, though.
Once each. So Metzger picks up and gives a wipe. And looks to midfield. He gets a completion. Leading throw. Rickards into the backfield for Metzger, and now Schlur. Too far in front. Rogers throws the body, but not quite enough. Criddle picks up the other way. Criddle fires and does get Williams. Williams to Colt Hammer in the middle. Too high. Can Spears? No, doesn't need to. Second effort comes from Criddle. Back to Callum Spears.
That D opportunity came from Colt Hammer not wanting to throw his flick in the wind, going with the backhand to the forehand side.
Oh.
And again, it just bobbles out of the grasp of Williams.
Second of such nature. The bobble into drop by Williams. Schlur. Then centered. And then scored. Metzger finally finds Schlur, and that marathon point ends with Wall City cashing in to make it 10-5.
If Chevy had been able to get the break there, I think it was game on. As it is 10-5, you feel like it's very much Wall City's to lose now. They were able to bail out a couple of sketchy moments, and then Williams just will not work for him at times today. Even when he got the layout D, it came back on the foul call on the throw. And Chevron just a little bit exhausted now, I think, by the conditions and by the deficit in front of them. I want to pick your brain, Coach Rapazzo.
Go on and pick.
When it's really windy in games like these, do you change how you call lines? Do you say, rather than having O and D, we'll have like an upwind line and a downwind line, and maybe you put some of your more powerful throwers on the upwind? Maybe bring, a couple of your biggest receivers as well, where because the system is less important than just being able to muscle it against the elements.
Yeah, most certainly. I think you asked that question very knowingly, Benji, but it is a very great way. I'm working with Ine Lankret with Super Team. She was really great at how she deployed those lines and how quickly she would shift from one to the other and back into, and that was something new to me. But the ability to just get into a game where, okay, guys, this is a wind-affected game. Let's do something to combat that. Upwind line is our throw-heavy line, and downwind line is our chase-heavy line. And that is a very, very sound way of taking on a game like this.
Well, this is why it was interesting to me hearing Brian Jones talk about stages of wind, because you say, okay, when it gets really strong, we're going to do this. If it dies down a little bit, then we will go back to our more traditional O and D lines as that swing is overshot out of the sideline. And it is finding that right balance.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you have decided that you're going to adjust and adapt tactic, and you are going to play punt and pin or huck and hope, then why not? Then you should have a line calling system that complements that, and that is your upwind, downwind lines, Benj.
In Ilanka, it's really wise. We should get her on another LTTV joint.
She's been asked. The answer not yet to have come. A goal there by Chevy, 6-10. They get the downwinder. And as we discuss tactics, Stephen Dixon quietly cashes in another goal for Chevron Action Flash, still down 4.
We saw it a couple of times in that point. It's this same throw here. It's this high release flick, a little bit of an elevator, just sit it on the wind over the defenders. Dixon, good field awareness, knows that he's close to the back of the end zone, but he doesn't need to do anything outrageous necessarily. Just stay calm. And he had a lovely one earlier in the point, and that time he's able to finish it off with aplomb. Again, Chevy, they're just buzzing around. They're not a full-on threat necessarily. They're not landing on the skin to be slapped down, but they are just kind of buzzing a little bit behind the ear.
They've not been put away yet. By no two ways have Wall City finished the job. They are still in a position that should offer some good feels, but never comfort. Comfort only comes when the job is done.
I'm trying to think of there's a certain phrase for this. It's about complacency, and I can't remember what it is, and it's annoying me.
It'll come, Bench. It'll come. So, set to pull into the teeth of the wind is Tom Bennett and the Chevron action flash. And the launch sent that in this condition considered a pretty decent pull. We've seen some with a lot less on them. Metzger picks up, finds center. Rickards gets the under. That is Herkins. Throws low and Schlur picks it up. Rickards goes to Heinrich. Couple options opted out of, and then Riedlow picks up. Finds center, Metzger, and that's going to be a foul.
Spears is pleading his cause here. And I was in position. He just came into me. We'll have a look at it again on the replay.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the act of fouling before the throw.
Yes. Maybe on the throw, fine, but he was definitely coming back from a position where he had fouled him, I think.
Metzger goes to Rickards, then leads Rogers. Finds and waits, and Schlur gives them a nice lateral option that gets shoveled into 11-6 now. Wall City extends.
Yeah, 5-point lead, 10 minutes before the cap comes on.
Looking good.
Yeah, it would be a major surprise if Chevron were to somehow pull off a miraculous comeback. I've seen stranger things happen, but at the moment, it's very much Wall City's game to lose.
Yeah, Groot in another favorable situation. One away now, Benji, over on the other side of the bracket. 14-8. A 6-point lead with 1 to go. As you see, Konrad Schlur, one of the, if not the, best player in Germany right now.
It's a good question, isn't it? He'd certainly be up there. You kind of feel that maybe in past years it would have been Holger Beutenmüller, no question, but
Nico Mueller is always one name that is in high consideration as well. But I do think,
thinking about how Torben Hernschmar has been playing this year as well, have to put him up there. But yes, certainly he's very prominent in the discussions. Although you say, is he the best player in Germany? No, he's in Belgium.
Player of German descent in Belgium. And that one goes all the way, one end to the other, picked up and put away. And that's the second very quick point for Ben Tennant and company. as they make it a Slurpee point. 7-11, still the lead to Wall City.
Yeah, 2 points in a row for Chev's O-line. They've just picked it up and one of their veterans has jacked it long for a score. I mean, if it works, why do anything else? There's nothing wrong with Route 1 Frisbee. Tennant does a really good job there of just sealing Herkins in behind, so there's no real way for him to come round without initiating contact and causing the foul. But that was, yeah, a very unceremonious rip deep from Robbie Haynes. And, hey, I loved it.
What has Brian Jones got in that backpack that he can't put down? Or is it just because the floor is wet?
It's actually a big bag of cans for the lads.
Benji, you always have the answers.
I asked him. I did not ask him. I didn't see he had a backpack.
That's what I want to get to the bottom of.
A backpack.
I think he's got his plans for success are in that backpack.
Yeah, it's 3 books. It's Sun Tzu's The Art of War, everything they teach you at Harvard Business School, and everything they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, because between those 2 books is the sum of all knowledge ever.
Wow, he's
by a process of elimination.
He's got it all worked out. Metzger. We did also see the clipboard of Christian Gaffney, a longtime Wall City player who is calling lines and managing lines with Coach Brian Jones, still putting in, as well as putting in some time on the mic, Benji, doing some commentary with Ulti TV.
He is indeed. Is he following in Brian Jones' footsteps there as well? There's a drop from Cam Weir, and you can't afford to be giving Wall City opportunities like that.
Schlur on the goal line. Him and Greenwald exchange to bring them there, and then do it again, and the pop pass over the shoulder. Schlur to Greenwald, and 12-7. Wall City extend, and they are looking sharp again.
It's been really interesting how Chevron have changed things up, where going downwind is like we're going to pick up and jack it because that's the easier direction, and they've put what we would be their their first choice O-line, especially in the first half. They've put them going into the wind, where they back themselves to make the plays a little bit more in the tougher conditions, but unfortunately you just can't account for drops. There's a lot of sideline encroaching going on there. Did we not paint a 3-meter line?
There's a painted line there.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I can see those numbers. Basov, Linda Manistons.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
Yeah, out you be called.
Sorry, we're calling you oot.
Oh, no doubt about it there, Bench.
Okay there, bud. He looks warm, doesn't he, Dempke?
Yeah.
I mean, given how apocalyptic the weather was forecast to be at times today, and at times it has been hideous, it's not been anywhere near as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it's a lot less bad inside these tents as it is outside these tents.
That is certainly true, but you know, if we'd had the weather at its worst all day, I mean, the fields would probably not exist by this point. They would just be a mud bath. And not
quagmire out there.
It could well have been, yeah.
Wind up, taken away with the Yoel Ben Joseph jumping in the lane. The second try at it does get through and bounced away at the last minute by Eichler.
Yeah, that's that same plan again for Chevron. Pick it up.
Wang
and have one of your big guns jack it. And that's why, because did you complete it? No, even though you completed the last 2. Have you made them start from their own inside line and with a slow pickup as well, so that you get a chance to get a defense set? Absolutely, as Leo Eichler, as you mentioned, got a big slap on that one. And Kay's going to bring it to the front line.
K centers, ooh, and picked off and scored immediately against after the interception, or is it?
Yeah, there's a discussion about whether the back foot was still down as he was trying to jump into the end zone. They are saying, nope, all above board. Duella picks it off. First pass, converting for the score. That's exactly why you play the punt and pin, as you mentioned. And it came defensively from Chevron. They were allowing that reset to go. For them, that's not a danger option, really. Going backwards into your own end zone. Sure, that's fine. We'll take that. And it was the next throw downfield when the force came on. Martin Hall was poaching, and they had someone else on one of the handlers. They pushed that player up to take the handler who now had the disc. Martin Hall came up to apply the pressure. You see it there. And this throw is just airmailed, and Duella, who's advancing forward, comes and plucks it at the zenith. And then first throw into the end zone for the score. Everyone on the field was happy with it, certainly. When you slow these things down in slow motion, they're almost never in, I find. But no one generally, they were happy about the resolution, and that's the main thing. Question now is, can this Chevron team get some of these breaks back?
Not much time to do it, Benj. We are going to get a hard cap potentially after this point, most certainly after 2 more points played.
Mostly the O-line, although they've crossed Robbie Haynes over.
Who's pulling?
That is a good pull, with the wind having died a little bit, but still getting them to field it inside their own end zone.
Metzger to Riedlow. Riedlow up line, big gainer to Schlur. Schlur fires and hits almost. Herkins lays out, had a hand on it, but could not haul it in.
How good would that have been? Criddle was cheating underneath slightly, daring Schlur to take the shot on. He did, and he very nearly came up in the most beautiful way.
Benji, great chance for an upwinder that's not quite an upwinder here. The wind has died off substantially. There is still wind to blow in, but this is a lot more manageable than a few minutes ago. Ooh, and that one smacked away almost into the diving body of, I believe it was Sweetenham.
It was indeed, yeah.
Picked up Rogers. Throws too high, but maybe a second effort. Riedlow can't squeeze the hand.
Yeah, was there a bit of contact on the backside? There might have been, but it wasn't a great throw, and Riedlow decided, actually, if there was, that's probably not the reason why it didn't go to hand.
Class no call. Couple crossing patterns there, but Chevron managed to make completions. Criddle zaps one to Sweetenham. And back to Criddle. Leading throw. Connects and fired. The length of the pitch. The not really upwind, and they get it. Haynes is there. And if this wind does pick up, as it really just did, but there's a call on the field, and Chevy can't believe it.
They look absolutely gobsmacked. No way this can come back. We got the upwind. It's Herkins in discussion with Weir.
What are our thoughts on this, Benji? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's a travel. His back foot, moved forward.
It's a heartbreaker for Chevron, but it's within his rights to call it. Jose Espinosa came over and had a look at it and said, you know what, fair enough. Weir wants it again, but this time he puts it away.
They do get the upliner, and there's another call here.
Yeah, I think just stepped on the Schlur's instep there. Chevron, just take a breath. Don't get flustered or frustrated.
Well, the one thing that is sure is that the onset of this point, they will have a hard cap set. We have crossed the 80-minute mark.
Yeah, so it'll be 12-9 game to 13 or 13-8 game to 14.
I'm sorry, not from the onset, at the conclusion.
I knew what you meant, don't worry.
Back in play, Weir goes around this time. Does hit Williams, and a tough catch made. Following up by Haynes. And now back into the handle space. Kime goes around and demands a low grab that was unavailed. Schlur picks up.
Sold him short.
Rogers wide open and is taken. No, and missed.
Sometimes it's the easy ones that you just don't think about.
Kime will pick it up. Nearly the same spot we saw Weir earlier. Goes inside to Criddle.
Getting it off the trap sideline is huge.
There is Weir, and he will shoot again. Floating, anybody's, everybody's, but it's Schlur. Takes it away and then throws some slop on the continuation. Kime puts it in the middle. Fired for goal and missed again, just a couple centimeters short.
It just runs out of gas, doesn't it, at the crucial moment, and Sweetenham's left clutching at thin air as Wall City taking the time out because Chevron have come so close to getting this upwinder a couple of times, and Wall City, I think, understandably, not best pleased about it.
Well, I mean, we said at moments it would be the false upwinder. If they got it at this stage, it would be back to a legitimate upwinder. The wind is back again. And to some end, timeout is confusing, where you might be back in the situation to just punt it again and get it out of there. There is Schlur with a great interception and the mediocre continuation.
You'd go mediocre, would you?
Poor. Yeah, very poor.
Oh, dang it. It's been frustrating for Chevy. Just when it looks like they're building up a head of steam, something breaks against them somehow. It bobbles or it dies, or there's a, he stepped on his foot as you were coming through and the disc goes back, and you really have to be strong mentally to be like, it's fine, it's not a problem, just keep playing Frisbee. Already 5 minutes over the 80. Game's normally to 90, but they've been shortened today because of the weather.
Wisely.
Yes. Don't know what you're on about. It's perfectly still in here.
In here.
Also, it's not.
Yeah, it is. There's tiny holes of exposure that are still allowing great gusts in. Boy, am I pleased, though, that we do have this internal protection.
So you know how a lot of the drama in the Open division was centered around, oh, Clapham lost to Quixotes.
Yeah.
Gentle beat Quixotes, and the pool is going to end Clapham 1, Gentle 2, Quixotes 3.
What was the score in the Gentle Quixotes game?
15-11. So Clapham topping that pool on a 3-way tie. They will get the bye into the quarterfinals. As the huck goes deep from Wall.
And good box out there. Herkin's not given a chance, but they did, in fact, do. I think at the timeout they said, okay, the wind's back, let's wang it, and they wanged it.
Elsewhere in the Open division, final score, Ranelagh 11, Bad Skid 12. So Bad Squid sneak into the bracket at Ranelagh's expense. Champions 2 years ago, and it's the second tournament in a row where they failed to make the top 16.
Still no result at the top of that pool, which everybody will be interested of too.
Yeah, Lafota versus Chak.
Will, sorry, back into Chevron as they go around and miss on that one.
Wall City just altered their defense there. If it's a little reset, that's fine, but they want to stop those big, the kind of the gainers out wide a little bit there. They're sitting underneath those throws. You are not getting those off.
Metzger. Hammers. And what a throw in this weather. Hits Schlur.
Love it.
In the guts. 13-8. We've got a game to 14.
Big hugs for Schlur. I mean, he did his job. He was in position. He just sat there. He backed Metzger to execute the throw. Boy, did he execute the throw. But yeah, that's one as a thrower where you're completely pleased with it. Just off the hand there of Williams under pressure from the bidding. Rogers, I think.
It was. Here's the throw bench. Look at that hammer.
Woof.
In this wind, I mean, that's a great hammer in any conditions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me. But you understand why Schlur's left open there, because if you're Chevron, you're thinking, hey, take that on. Be our guest.
Go on.
If you can nail that, sure. And boy, could Metzger nail it. We're being invaded, Steph.
Yeah, it's like the Kool-Aid cartoon crashing through the wall.
Oh, yeah. And Liam Grant very nearly took out the entire comms desk. Graceful as ever. It's honestly, if we got it on a surfboard, it would have been seamless. We've probably got about the right level of wind and spray for it.
So the pull tails out of bounds, and Chevron will let Bevan pick it up.
What do you think he's going to do?
Jack it deep.
Oh, you were right.
And well covered up. The shot gets a bit too much wind behind it and carries beyond the back line.
Job done for Chevron. We gave ourselves a chance. Did we overthrow it? Sure. That's fine. Out the back. Now let's play some D. Wall City, by the way, would end it if they could go all the way against the wind and break it here.
Here's their start. Ben Joseph. High stall count. Almost into a Callahan situation, but now a short field situation for Chevy. But there is a foul called. So it will go back to Ben Joseph. And turned again, this time without a foul, and bing, there it is, 9-13. Wall City will put an O-line in with the wind at their back with a chance to end this one, as they were unable to do it with an upwinder there.
Yeah, you'd love to end it in that scenario, but I think you appreciate that, you know, actually, is it a huge loss in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. You know, you're thinking about who are the big stars who are out there. You know, there's no Schlur, for example. You don't need to cross players over in that scenario.
No, not at all. Now they will have their O-line, who have been performing very well throughout this game, to do what they've been doing with the wind at their back.
They gave Chevron a fair few opportunities on their last O point, but Chevy were unable to take advantage with the wind being an 8th and sometimes even 9th defender.
So a few games still going here. No score on, no final result on Isno XVI or Chak La Fota.
In the women's division, though, I see that Jinx were able to see out East Block, and that means that in the pre-quarterfinals tomorrow, we've got East Block versus Yaka.
Wow.
You think that might get streamed?
I got a feeling.
Yeah.
I got a feeling.
No.
Wait, stop singing?
Yeah, I don't want to get copyright claimed.
Okay, yeah, good.
Although, to be fair, I don't know if... I was going to say, I don't know if the if big music industry has a solid sports subscription, so we might be all right.
Metzger picks up, and Conrad Schlur was wide open. That one not wide open. Good pursuit, but Riedlow maintains. And Riedlow's throw gives Ferdy Rogers a chance to change his cut and come back to it.
There was a tip on that one from Criddle, but not enough.
Rogers fakes shakes. He looked to flip the disc around and considered a scuba again, but goes to green vault, now in the middle of the records. Can they put it away here? Rogers for the win, the pool, and the break in the morning. Straight to quarters. Flippers over top. Herkins is there. Wall City win the pool. They are into the quarterfinals.
Maybe a salty little scuba, but it was all business, wasn't it, from Rogers? To seize him there. He was teasing it earlier in the point, and you knew he was still staying on his mind. Relay there making the catch under contact. And it's one of their other imports, Ferdia Rogers, is going to put the game on ice. Staying calm, staying patient, and when he sees the opportunity, you know what? I've got this. Not an issue, not a problem. Into the back of the end zone. Wall City into the quarterfinals.
Wall City into the quarterfinals, looking very sharp today. A day with this much weather that we knew would shake up a lot of pools. We've mentioned a lot of the results that have been less expected, but nothing unexpected because of the treachery this weather would inflict. And we've got a final score.
Yep, Lafota 14, Chak 12. So Lafota finished top of Pool C. Mooncatchers beat One Tribe 15-7, so they will finish top of Pool A. So
top seeds prevail.
Top seeds prevail in all of the pools, as sort of we expected. If we look at the crossovers for the open division as well. Gentle versus Bad Skid, that's tasty. Chak versus maybe the surprise package of today, Quixotes. We know Chevron finished second in this pool. They will place the team that comes third in Pool A. That is still to be decided depending on the result of XVI
and
versus Isno. Correct. And of course, finishing third in the end in this pool were Chrit, and they will play whoever came second in open Pool A. And as we say, if XVI win the game against Isno, it'll be XVI. If Isno good win, it'll come down to some three-way tie wonkiness.
Well, that is all the action expected from the open division tomorrow. It's coming at you in all three divisions tomorrow. Pre-quarter rounds will kick off the day in the morning. The first two rounds of the morning will be all your pre-quarters, while these pool winners will have a chance to sleep in, try themselves on, and watch what potential opposition they might get.
Do we want to give the people a tasty pre-quarter preview?
Yeah, of course we do, Benji.
In the mixed division, Disconnection versus Sky This. The winner goes on to play Tisetalka. Tartu versus Pelt, where the winner goes on to play Mosquitoes. Reading and Glasgow, they will duke it out for the right to face Deep Space in an all-UK affair, while Seskidistas await the winner of Padover Rangers versus Savage. Open division, still just waiting on those to be decided. In the women's division, those just waiting to be wrapped up as well, but the pool winners were Moon Cup, Jinx Midnight, Chrit, and we're just waiting for the final scores in Pool B to come through. That'll depend on the outcome of Shout versus Iceni. The winner goes straight through into the quarterfinals in that game. But we do have some things set. That is Yaka versus East Block, and Troubles versus Jet Set are confirmed. Bristol will play whoever comes second in Pool B, so that'll be Iceni or Shout. Fabulous will play whoever comes third, which we know at this point is Box. So we have, as we do some maths here, Bristol versus Shout / Iceni. The winner plays Moon Cup. Fabulous versus Box, with the winner taking on the top seed from Pool D, which is Jinx Midnight. Yaka versus East Block will play off, and a big favourite is going to go out in the round of 16, where the winner plays the top spot in Pool B, which is either Shout or Iceni. And then Troubles versus Jet Set. The winner goes on to play Chrit. Let's get out of here.
That's going to do it for today. For Benji Reese, I'm Stefan Rabazzo. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll catch more of you tomorrow.
I'm going right now to bring one of you with me. Or you get to eat.
I got to eat.
Who's the other card?